Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. So, we suffered a grave loss last turn. Yes, we did. And there's nothing that we can do about that. Haruna fought the good fight, and she did go down in a blaze of glory. Her actions did lead to, I suppose, some small victories, something to take away from that. Hello there, SET, how you doing, my friend? So we're really now left with the repercussions of the battle. Now, something that I had not been really doing, or really, I just completely had overlooked the mechanic. And that is the mechanic in regards to actual threat tolerance. So we have here normal, low threat tolerance, high threat tolerance, and absolute tolerance. So, had we been using these, the turn could have played out in a very different way. But this is a lesson learned, and this is something that we will not repeat. We will always take consideration to the threat tolerance and respond in kind. So how do we respond to this then? I think really first and foremost we need to decide how we approach the actual Mersing Gambit. Now we have a number of options here. I was going to bring up my drawing tools just to make things a little bit easier, a little bit clearer, so I can actually show people. Okay, let's go with a nice yellow to represent the Japanese. So of course we do have Congo and 2 destroyers over here. That's all that we have here, as well as just a submarine. We do have our main force of heavy cruisers over here. Now, it's a shame that they're so distant. We should have reduced the threat tolerance, but that's something that we won't make the mistake about again. From what we can see, we have over here 5 ships, 4 ships, 2 ships, 2, well, 7 here, supposedly a heavy cruiser. Now, I did make another bloody mistake, and that was actually in regards to the range of the G3s. So if we take a look, obviously their range is now set to 18. So that's 17 there. Yeah, that'll definitely cover this area. So, how do we wish to approach this? Tenno, Haika, Banzai. I'm currently in a pub and having a beer. We'll join you in half an hour. That sounds great, mate. That sounds great. I wish I could join you. So there, Kosa, how you doing, my friend? How's the Austrian military treating you? Treating you? Cheating you? Treating you. Bloody hell, I'm getting tongue-tied. So I think what we need to do first and foremost then is actually to link up again with our forces. We do have an AMC over here. This AMC isn't going to make it home. They need to head to Kotabaru. I mean, the AMC itself, what does it have in terms of armaments? Very, very little. It's not exactly anything special, is it? No. We do have a large amount of submarines over here. The submarines are the ones here that aren't really lacking on ammunition. They don't have a huge amount. Actually, no, they are beginning to lack on ammunition, so they only have a couple more shots left in them. But that is absolutely fine for what we did right now. So what we're going to do with them is we are going to have them begin their patrols. We're going to change their patrol patterns. We're going to do this to actually cover the Congo. Now, THG did suffer. He definitely did suffer. Right, direct. Threat tolerance is low. Well, it's actually normal. It doesn't particularly matter for the submarines. So we'll have them to react within 1 hex. Okay. So he has a couple options now. The Prince of Wales and the Battlecruiser Repulse has been rather heavily damaged. They've both been rather heavily damaged, haven't they? So, we do need to be quite careful here. Right. So how do we approach this? That is a question. Now, we do have a number of submarines, so we'll have to make use of them. How do we wish to actually use them? So, what do you guys think? Do we go for all broke here? Got my finger stuck between 2 crates today. That sounds pretty cool. I bet that hurt. I can actually understand the bloody pain of that sort of thing. Yeah, 2 weeks at home sounds pretty fantastic. I'm sure you'll be looking forward to that. Okay, so we're going to clear the destination here. Need to cover Congo. Yeah, reaction of 1. Okay. I don't want that one. Right, clear that patrol. Boundary 1 is here at Mercy. Air Force and maybe submarines is the way to go, but send another fleet to suicide, yeah. Okay. What we're going to do then is, subs are probably not going to do too much. Yep, you are right. What I'm thinking here is basically, if you can catch Olympian Prince of Wales or Repulse, yeah, that's very true. What I'm thinking here is we use about half of the submarines to actually try and protect Mersing. And by Mersing, what I mean is basically just to give some cover to our forces here, just to pose that actual threat. Though what I'd say is have the rest of the submarines basically patrol this area. Obviously not Singapore itself, but around Singapore. So I'll just show that here. 1 second, yeah. So I'd say this area, here, here and here. The idea being obviously that they will react once the enemy does come about. What is the ammo situation on your ships? Both you and THG would be quite low. Yeah, we are very low on ammunition here. We do have some ships that are nearby with fresh ammunition, which is quite handy. Though the issue is obviously we need to get these ships... Well, actually, no, they're very low on ammunition. In fact, they're out of ammunition here. So they need to get out of dodge. Right, not computer controlled. Okay, full speed, no. Mission speed. I'm going to give them orders to head for... I'd say possibly Kotobaru. The issue here becomes that of the enemy's air power. Though, of course, we do have a decent amount of air power. We did see a number of actual strikes on our air bases over here. Mostly on Indochina. Some on Malaysia, but not a huge amount. I think what we need to do then is actually... please tell me we will kick the crap out of their ships in retaliation for your bombers. Ideally so. Ideally so. But the thing is, they have to actually get there. We need to have night pass and then obviously the day come about. So, we'll see. I'm going to have these actual troops. I mean, there's about... Yeah, there's actually no troops here. I think, yeah, that was the 105. So that was the actual original task force at Mersing. So they've got out. So we're going to have them head towards Kotobaru. Now, it might be worthwhile to actually just merge these task forces just for the safety of numbers. We do have another large invasion here. This is the other Mersing invasion force. So if I take a look at this, we can see that we do have the heavy cruiser Chokai, which is actually rather formidable now, considering that she is fully ready to go. She has full ammunition complement. So does the light cruiser Keshi. She's very slow, however, so not really particularly worthwhile. So what we could do then is have her travel alongside the other transports. Then we could have the destroyer Sagiri, Tsuta, and Yomogi. Yeah. They could rally forth alongside the Chokai, which would be quite nice. At least then we'll actually have the ammunition, and which is going to be quite important. Okay. So we have that going for us. I think what we're going to do here is attempt to actually clear the enemy away. There has been a number of possibilities floated here, and the possibilities really come down to a few options. Option A is we completely call the Mersing Gambit and we say, right, okay, we'll cut our losses here. I mean, we have taken losses. We lost Haruna. But the thing is, it is a painful loss, but ultimately isn't going to really prove to be much beyond that. It does deprive me of a pretty combat-capable ship, but we can make do without her. What do you think about bringing a carrier to this area? Well, our only carriers nearby are the ones with Baby Kita Butai, so the light cruisers Ryujo and Zuiho, which I am going to probably bring down to this area. We do have quite a big complement over here. What I'm also going to do is, if we go over here to the Pacific, where's Kitabutai? So we have Kitabutai here. Okay. What I'm going to do is actually split them and we'll have the Akagi and Karga head back to Asia. So Kagi and Karga, our slowest carriers. Okay. Now, I could have the... I mean, these battleships are actually very good. They're actually pretty formidable. They do have a impressive top speed of about 30 knots, which is actually quite good for a battleship. There are obviously faster battleships out there, but that's pretty handy. I quite like that. Okay. Now, we do need to give them, obviously, an escort. So I'm going to give them the light cruiser. I'll give them these slower destroyers. Okay, that doesn't leave us with a huge destroyer complement, but I can take some of the destroyers away from the other task force, the oiler task force. Okay. Now, threat tolerance is going to be high. I do not want them to engage with the enemy. So what I'll do is I'll have it up to about 6. It's one of these things, I really don't want them to actually engage on the surface. I'd rather have them engage, obviously, at a distance. So I'm taking a risk here by having just a light cruiser and the destroyers. Is the music a little bit too loud? I'm just going to turn that music down just a tad. About that'll be fine. Okay, so this is a risk, but at the end of the day, I do need to do something bold here. So now that they're fueled up, we will decide where to use them. We have taken Wake, which is fantastic. I will be using Kiributai to really secure Midway, but these carriers will be heading back. I'm going to probably have them swing by... I'd say I'm going to have them head towards Tokyo for the time being, and then we'll give them new orders. I'm pretty sure they will be spotted as of this moment in time, so we will have to react to that. It's interesting, we lost sight of what was actually down here. We did actually spot some American forces which have suddenly disappeared, which is rather, yeah, concerning. But we'll make do. We'll make do. Now with Kiributai itself, what I'm going to do here actually is we'll take a look at the amount of fighter complement. So Karga has 8 A6M2s. Yeah, then Akagi only has 7 A6M2s, so not a huge amount of actual zeros here. If we take a look at the carrier complement of the others, so 18 here, only 8 here, Shokaku 18, Zuikaku 18, right. Okay, it's a difficult situation because I don't really have the A6M2s to spare. What we need to do then is actually bring fresh A6M2s on the escort carriers. Our second one should have arrived over here. Yep, we do have the air transport, so that's Taiyo. Okay, so let's see, support transport. There we go. So, place the Taiyo in here. I do have an additional destroyer which I can actually make use of here. The Takikaze. Is that the APD? No, no, it should be though. I'll have to convert that to an APD. I do also have the auxiliary aircraft tender, which I'm going to take with me. For the fact of, yeah, that's some additional endurance, which is fantastic. Also, the speed is okay, matches that of the rest, and it does give us some actual aviation support, which is very important. As well, she might actually have, she could have float planes, which is quite good. Or we could have her carry something else. What we need to do now is actually find ourselves some actual planes to put on here. I do have the Ki-27s over here. You can transfer some land fighter groups to your fleet carriers. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking of here. I'm thinking of having them travel aboard the Hosho, Taiyo, and then we can actually have them head out to the Pacific to join Kiributai. The issue is the lack of experience on the air crews, but I suppose they would learn quite quickly. But it's not an easy question. Really isn't an easy question of how we do this. And of course we need to just have them replaced. Yeah. Okay. So what we'll do then is we'll take a look at this in the short future. I could actually fit a decent number of actual fighters on board here. And even if they're out on some island, not in the actual battle, at least they can continue to actually build up their experience. Hello there, Ravenholm. How are you doing, my friend? Right. Okay, so let's concentrate on this area first and foremost, and then we'll make our preparations elsewhere. So if I take a look over here, so obviously we do have a number of submarines that will be patrolling that area alone. So that will be the I-156, the I-162, and the I-164. They will be patrolling this area. We also do have the I-155. Ammunitions are not great, but at least she still has some. Okay, her retirement is currently set to allowed, but we're going to change that. So, have you patrol this area here. Okay, linger. Yeah, she'll remain here. Right, now, with the actual battleship Congo, her speed has been reduced to about 18 knots. She's obviously taken some flotation damage. I think she'll be fine to carry on at mission speed. She might take additional damage, but I think she'll be able to manage it. Her main guns do have ammunition. Her forward-facing guns actually do have ammunition here, which is rather intriguing. She has more ammunition, of course. The range is 39,000 yards. Well, feet. I think feet? I'm going to go with yards. Yards and feet, whatever you want to say. The AA obviously is lacking, but we do have these additional guns. Obviously, these are the heavier ones. These secondary guns, which have a range of 22,000 yards, they still have full ammunition complement. So that is, yeah, 7 right side, left side. So she still has 750mm guns on her broadside, which is like the armament of most light cruisers or even some cruisers, possibly heavy cruisers, though heavy cruisers tend to have like 200mm guns and plus. So she still has a decent amount of firepower remaining to her. Her armor is obviously the best thing for her. We do have the destroyers here. Yeah, she's completely out of ammunition, completely out. She only has the automatic, yeah, the AA machine guns, depth chargers, and AA gun. So only 25mm, 13.2mm. Yeah, so both out. So what I'm going to do then is, well, I can't really take the risk of full speed. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to put her threat tolerance on low. She needs to get out. What I'm going to tell her to do then is meet Task Force. I'm going to tell you to meet Task Force 9. Now Task Force 9 will actually head towards them as well. Yeah, so low threat tolerance, direct movement, they're going to move. They need to be in a... See, they're on escort now because she's damaged. But they need to be on the surface task force, surface combat mode. They will not react. I don't want them to actually go out there and react. So they're going to head towards Task Force 9. Yeah, Task Force 9. Why is it showing 103? Have I selected 103? Task Force 9. Okay, I'm so bewildered on that one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do then is form a new task force. So we'll have Chokai, Tatsuta, Sagiri. Yeah, Chokai. Yomogi. Right. Now then, threat tolerance I'm going to put as high. So a higher threat tolerance than normal. Direct, what I want you to do is to meet... Yeah, meet with... Task Force 99, obviously the Congo. So they're going to merge. Now I'm going to tell them to move at full speed here. I read somewhere that it's better to use a cruise speed for damaged ships. Mission speed will sometimes use maximum speed. Okay, depends on the commander. We'll take a look at the speed of the ships here then on... cruise. So on cruise it's down to 9. I suppose at the end of the day... It's probably worthwhile to travel on cruise speed then. We'll go on cruise speed. The beauty is, if we head out in this direction over here, that is going to cover them with the aircraft, so that's quite good. We need to take a look at our actual fighter cover, we need to take a look at the actual bomber cover, and really decide where to move our forces here. It's going to be a very interesting question of how to move our pieces. Right. I mean, speaking of commanders, that's something that we definitely have to take a look at in the future and really decide who will lead our task forces. Okay, so what I'm going to do with these guys is threat tolerance is going to be low. They're going to move directly. I'm going to have them head towards Kutabaru. I will have some air cover made available for them. It's too valuable elsewhere. There's a lot of forces here. And we did have some of our good forces go down, some of our best forces go down here, which is a big shame. But we'll try to avoid any issues like that again. Okay, so we still have a number of destroyers here. Yeah, very low in ammunition. Ammunition's low. Torpedoes are gone. So yeah, they do need to go ahead and rearm. Now they're heading towards Camaran Bay to rearm. Saigon has a port capacity of 5. Camaran Bay has a port capacity of 5. Now, what is the actual naval support like? So, naval support. Naval support is 125 here. Naval support over here is 346, so actually much in the way superior. Okay. She does have plenty of fuel as well. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to tell these guys to head out at maximum speed. Yeah, full speed. Where the hell are you heading? These torpedo boats. Now, they do have ammunition for their guns. They are obviously lacking about torpedoes. They have only a light amount of AA, however. I suppose at the end of the day, we do need to have them for their torpedoes, otherwise they're not going to be doing too terribly much, are they? Rightio. Okay. Thing is, they don't need to rearm at, like, say, Camaran Bay. They can be rearmed elsewhere. So I think what we might do then is... I'll have them, due to the fact that they still have some AA capabilities, I'm going to have them meet Task Force 121, the Mersing Invasion Force. Have them merge over here. Right, direct. There we go. So they're going to merge over there. They're going to be traveling at full speed. So they'll merge around about this point here. That's good. I think the reason we do this is to really just increase the amount of protection that we have there. Okay, these guys, they still have the capabilities for AA. But they have... Yeah, you've taken some damage. You're still carrying some ammunition, but not a huge amount. You still have your depth charges. You still have your AA. You know what? What I'm actually going to do then is... They still have their depth charges. They still have some AA ammunition. And at the end of the day, they still present a larger threat to the enemy. What I'm going to tell them to do is actually to link up with Task Force 121. They're going to head towards Kutabaru. So merge. Yes, full speed. You'll meet them pretty quickly. I think this is probably for the best. We need to make up the numbers in the actual defensive force, the actual accompanying force. There we go. Merge. Full speed. They can be rearmed once they arrive at Kutabaru. So, Task Force 121 is going to obviously be given some decent protection. We do have a lot of good troops there. I can afford to lose troops. I can't afford to lose all of my troops. Obviously, I do want to maintain the better troops, as they are definitely worth their weight in gold, but it's one of these things. I'd rather have ships than have troops, because at the end of the day, I can't replace the ships. Once they're gone, they're gone. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Okay. So, the Moonlight is dropping as well, which is quite handy. It's not great for us as such, as we do well with a decent amount of Moonlight. We will do better than the American forces or the British forces will. But it's always good to have a decent amount of Moonlight at night operations. But then again, we're wanting to actually slink out of this, aren't we? So it's probably for the best. And that the level of Moonlight is lower. Means that we'll have a better chance of actually evading enemy forces at night. So if you take a look here, so crew experience day, night. So yeah, they're almost as experienced at night as they are in the day. The destroyers are pretty much on par. I mean, this actual crew performs better at night than they do in the day, which is rather intriguing. Right. So, I think what we need to do here, then, is... They're heading out to merge with Task Force 99. I don't need to have them merge with Task Force 99. What I need to do is actually set up their patrol. So, threat tolerance is high. What I'm going to do, then, is set up a series of waypoints, I think. It's an interesting question. I think I need to really see how things will go. I think I'm better off letting my air assets try and dominate the battlefield here. My naval assets do need to be rearmed. I can rearm at Kota Baru, thankfully. Okay. Yeah. So there, Calic, how you doing, my friend? I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, mate. That was awesome. It's a fun stream. Fun stream. I did get my ass handed to me on that last user-generated mission. I suppose at the end of the day I should have really been looking at the actual terrain. That was not good terrain. That was pretty rough on my part. Okay. Yeah, so what I'm thinking here is we'll head towards Kota Baru. But what we'll do first and foremost is I don't need to have you run at full speed now. I'm going to have you run at mission speed. I'm going to have you have your first... See, the thing is, there's supposedly 10 ships here. So that's a couple of cruisers and some destroyers, which makes things rather difficult here. What's up there, Jacob? How you doing, my friend? See, this is why you need to be on the Discord, then you can always see when I'm about to start. Okay, so they're going to make their first waypoint here. Their second waypoint needs to be then further out to sea, ideally in these zones here. Then they will head towards Kota Baru. So they'll head here first, where they'll link up with the Congo and the two destroyers ideally, and then they'll head on this way and then head on towards Kota Baru. Yeah, they're going to head straight onto Kota Baru. See, they're low on ammunition. Basically, everyone has expended a lot of ammunition. I suppose the surface combat ships of, obviously, THG will probably have spent a lot of ammunition, which is rather impressive. Ah, that's awesome, Calic. I think. Righto. Yeah, YouTube notifications are awful. So I'm thinking here, yeah, we'll use the submarines rather offensively. Use them to obviously try and corral the enemy. But we need to have half of them basically go here to Mersing. Ideally to try and just give some additional firepower. At the end of the day, if they can kill anything or at least hurt something, that'd be worthwhile. If we go back to actual combat reports... That fucking Herald did my head in. Bloody patrol gunboat, or whatever it was, gunboat. Friggin' just performed way too well that one turn. Now, we did hit some of the troop transports over here, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. It's going to hurt him, but it's not going to do a lot for us right now. Yeah. It's a shame that we didn't launch any torpedoes into the salvo, well, into this actual group in here. I mean, Houston was later to be sunk, which is quite nice. Yeah, SS I-158, heavy damage. We did lose, yeah. I-158 then went down. Issue is she took some hits here. She did launch 6 torpedoes at Java. She bloody missed. I don't know how she missed. It should have missed... Well, should have hit over here. That could have definitely changed the battle. Yeah, then she goes down. Yeah, forced to service, and then she's just absolutely annihilated. Okay. So this was the big battle between our heavy cruisers. The issue is we use a lot of our ammunition, which we need to rearm. We definitely need to rearm. If we can rearm, we'll be good to go. Issue is THG will be able to rearm sooner than I can. But we do have our naval planes over here. These naval bombers will make that difference with their torpedoes. So that is our advantage. So Express was hit twice, heavy fires. Dragon was hit twice. Boys was hit once. Now, if I could sink this son of a bitch, that'd be good. I mean, that is one of the major threats here. Java was hit here. Houston was obviously hit, but she does go down later. So we know Dragon and Boys are somewhat damaged, obviously very light damage. We know Express is heavily damaged, or at least she's taken a decent amount of damage from fire. Okay. So, Prince of Wales, 15 hits, torpedo hits, 2 on fire, heavy damage. Now, Repulse, I don't think she'll be too heavily damaged. I don't think he'll be too keen to really continue the fight with her. She did get hit by a torpedo. We know she got hit, but there's no reports of heavy damage nor fires. So her damage is probably rather minor. I'd say she's probably on par with the Congo. So the thing is, I'm considering using the Congo in action, so I suppose he would be considering the very same as well. So, at least from this we can sort of garner information here. Now, the Moonlight level was 35% here, so this is significantly lower now in this turn. So our night fighting training will continue to become more relevant. Van Ness was hit and she was put on fire, so she's taken some damage. So Java's on fire here. Notice that. So she was hit in this battle. And then in the following battle, she's still on fire. That's good information there. I encountered a minefield here. Vegan. Ish. 3 mines cleared. Okay. Right. We did get a large number of hits here. We did take a lot of losses, but we actually did inflict some good losses on the enemy. We definitely did quite well with our ASW lately. Right. Yeah, then we hit... I think we've already hit this troop transport, but another 2 torpedoes will always do as good. Okay. This was the Guam cover force. Right. So this was the... it's a shame about this one. If the range wasn't as large, it might have been different. But in this battle, we do put some hits onto the Houston. We put hits onto the Java. So the Java is on fire and she takes another hit here. Trump takes 2 hits. Vampire takes 5 hits and she's on fire. Van Ness is on fire. Obviously, Congo took some hits. Haruna then went down after this battle in the next battle. I'd have loved to have seen what her damage was, but she took 34 hits. Huge amount there. I really want an orange. Do you think it would be weird to buy a single orange from a shop? No, what would be weird is not buying me an orange. I like oranges. Okay. So that's rather interesting. So we destroyed 3 seagulls, so obviously that was the float planes. Yeah, I mean, Haruna made it through this battle amazingly. So this is where Houston goes down. She took 2 torpedoes and she was sunk. So that's the heavy cruiser Houston. The Java was hit. Heavy fires and heavy damage. Yeah, and most of those 34 hits were probably 50 cal. Probably so. Okay. Vampires on fire. Bankert was sunk. Van Ness is on fire. But no additional damage on these light cruisers. Bloody Penguin. Yeah, so we did take a large amount of casualties over here. Number of them destroyed, which is a shame. Herald hit a few times and put on fire. Right. Additional combat here. So you can see that we have De Ruyter, Tromp, Dragon Pose, Vampire, Vendetta, Van Ness. I mean, that was a shame. Now, they did take some fire, but they definitely put some fucking casualties onto me. It's a shame because these were really good men. Had this force been driven away or damaged further, then that would be nice. We did have a cover force of only one bloody light cruiser and torpedo boat, so I suppose it was just bloody asking for it, really, wasn't it? So, De Ruyter suffers 1 hit, Tromp 2 hits, Vampire 1 hit, nothing huge. I mean, yeah, this was just a turkey shoot. Right, Scout of Thracian. That's near Tierman Island, which is just south of Mersing. So that's 2 destroyers. Right, near Singapore is Jupiter. Now, Jupiter was from the original force. Herald, heavy fires, heavy damage. Okay. Attack Manila. Let's continue. So we are learning some important information here. What we're trying to assess is really the condition of his surface ships. If I can figure out really what I can expect to face, then we'll be good to go. I don't think he's going to have much in the way of ammunition. He has taken damage as well, so his ships aren't in the best shape, really. The good news is, that does make them an easier target, especially if they have any fires. If there's any fires remaining, that will definitely make them easily visible to our bombers. Now, okay, let's see, is there any additional conflict? Somewhere here. Yeah, and this is where Congo finally goes down, sadly. This was in the daytime, so she made it through the night and into the day. And in the light of the sun, she goes down. It was a shame, but she definitely did put up a good fight. Yeah, she didn't take any hits, I think she just went down. But we can see here that Van Ness is then sunk. Vendetta takes 4 hits, heavy fires, heavy damage. Boys takes a hit, Dragon takes a hit, Vampire no hits, Trump and De Ruyter no hits. So his light cruisers have definitely taken hits. He's lost an additional escort there. Yeah, we do lose further. Right. Okay, so what we can actually garner from that information is that he will have probably De Ruyter, Boys, Dragon, and what was the other one? He had another one as well. So he has 4 light cruisers here, give or take. She's going to make the situation difficult. Right. So I think how we play this then is Congo could definitely put the hurt on them. She does have a night fighting experience, which is good. So we'll have Congo link up with the Chokai and her escort and destroyers, which is good because they're fully ready to go. They're undamaged and they're fully armed. Now let's take a look at the condition of our heavy cruisers. So we do have some ammunition for the 200mm gun, so that is the 4 forward-facing guns here. I like the fact that these guns are actually armored, that's cool. So yeah, we have ammunition there. We do have some ammunition for the left side guns. We do have torpedoes. Yeah, we do have most of our torpedoes, actually. We do have the AA armament. Atago actually does have... Atago. Actually, well, Atago? She does have ammunition on all her guns, so she can actually fight. Not well, but she can fight. Mogami. Interesting, she can be converted. Into what? So she's given radar. From what I can see, she's given radar. Her troop capacity does increase to 400. Her AA capability is obviously increased due to that of the presence of radar. I mean, that would be in 42, so that might be a conversion to take a look at. Having additional radar is always a very good thing, especially on a ship that's armoured, so that's quite good to know. Okay, so we still have the search planes here. She still has a decent amount of ammunition here. Those were a lot of footprints, yeah, I know, right. Mikuma, she has some ammunition here. Yeah, Suzuya has no ammunition on her main guns. She still has ammunition on her secondary guns. So only 16,000 yards, but she still has it. Kumano has ammunition on her main guns. The destroyers, different levels of ammunition. Mogami is converted into an aviation cruiser that can take quite a few search planes. That's just really cool. We'll definitely take a look at that, because that does sound like a really nice class to have. Yeah, not huge amounts of ammunition here. But they can handle combat. They can do it. Some of them have taken damage, but that's fine. System damage, yeah, I can make do with that. Speed will be reduced down to about 31 knots, but I'm fine with that. So what we're going to tell her to do then is, she's currently heading to port to replenish. We're going to tell her no. I'm going to set her threat tolerance as high. We're going to tell her, right, you're not heading there. Yeah, there we go. What I'm going to do then is tell her to meet up with Task Force 83. So meet with Task Force 83. Merge. Now, I'm going to tell them move at full speed to really just link up. They're on high tolerance, so they should make it to link up with the actual forces there. Okay. So we have something of a working plan now so far. So we will have our surface assets come together. These forces need to make it out here. We do have additional forces on their way. What I'm going to do with these guys is tell them to meet this force over here, just to merge, and obviously increase the amount of escorts available to them. So merge. You've taken no damage, so I'll have you move at full speed to make sure you actually arrive, ideally. The two destroyers obviously somewhat low in ammunition, but at least they have those. Then we have the torpedo boats, the destroyers and torpedo boat, and the destroyers over here. That will race at top speed to meet this task force of 121, which is going to head then on towards Kotobaru. Now I do have... we have ourselves men over here. Actually, they're unloading supplies, it seems. Yes. We do have a landing ship dock over here, which is a very important and valuable ship. We do have destroyer minesweepers here. We have the AMC. Now we have plenty of forces here. The Imperial Guard Division is over here. Okay. So we still have that going for us. We still have the Imperial Guard Division. Right, our forces have arrived over here. I'm going to tell them to actually, I need this to increase its supply. Right, so only 300 supplies, which is fucking pathetic. But increase the amount of supply up that way. Now, what I need to do is begin the march over here. So we do have a couple of RTA divisions. So we have the 7th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd, as well as the Royal Thai Army Cavalry Division, which is quite handy. We can make use of that. Yeah. Okay. So what do you guys think so far, then? Do you think my moves will work out for the best? Do you think this is the best plan? I'm really leaning towards a series of movements. I think first and foremost we need to get ourselves out of danger here, so obviously get the Congo out of danger. I think if we pull out of Mersing completely, then it will all have been for naught. They do have... How much in the way of supplies do they have here? Yeah, they have 1,299 tons of supplies. They require 96 per day, give or take. They have about 40 assault value, so not a huge amount, but something to ideally make them last. They're up against a larger force, a much larger force. So, we have a couple days to bring them either reinforcements or resupply. I think we need to try and make the Mersing Gambit work. I think we need to do that. Right, the next question comes down to the additional submarines. So if we take a look, the weather is looking clear here. What is the weather forecast? So this is the weather report here. So we're seeing clear skies, which is definitely what we want. We're seeing thunderstorms over this way, but for now we are seeing clear skies. I'm seeing clear skies here. Whether that's actually going to last is unknown. Yeah, thunder over this way. Ah, God, I wish I could have found an American carrier. That'd be nice. So we do have clear weather, which means that his planes will fly, my planes will fly. He has a lot of them here. He's definitely basing from Singapore. What we're going to do then is... right, so you're going to head this way, you're going to head this way. Then we're going to head to Cotobrou to rearm, ideally. Rearm and reorganize. Then from Cotobrou, we are going to divide some of our amphibious forces and strike towards this base here. That's where we're going to go. So we'll take control of this base here. Then once we have control of that, we'll launch sweep attacks over at Singapore. So that is going to mean using our A6M2s, using our KI-43s, the different models. But we definitely need to build this base up to be a very good and solid airbase. And then from here we'll be able to control the approach to Singapore as well. And strike towards Palembang. And towards Osthaven, where we'd have additional landings. And in reality, Singapore would be fantastic to take due to the fact of what it represents. It would be a great base of, well, it'd be a great safe harbour for us. It'd be a very good defensible point from which we could defend as well, which would be lovely. It'd present a solid airbase once everything was repaired, a solid port obviously once everything been repaired. We also need to take a look at obviously taking these bases over here, but at the end of the day, I'm more interested right now in securing Singapore. I mean, the thing is, it's like we've got to remember here that this is very much a commitment of real time to the series that me and the historical gamer have to put in. So, when we talk about 1942, 1943, it's like 1943 could be, for example, next year, or it might be the year after. Probably next year, depending on how quickly we can get through turns. So... it's one of those. I have to really play this to win. Ideally soon as possible. Okay. So, with that in mind, let's do our best. I'm going to have them patrol around this area here. I'm not going to patrol right outside of Singapore because I don't think it's safe enough, but around about this island. If anything's passing, we'll catch them. Then we need to just really increase the amount of submarines that we have in this area. I-22 did take some damage, but she's still good to go. We also need to try and catch the enemy as they retreat. Right, don't react, only react to what's in your hex. Well, then again, yeah, increase range by 1 hex. You'll still obviously react to what's in your hex. So you're going to move over that way. Right, you know orders for the I-57, 157. Let's give us some orders. And say about there. She'll be on max reaction of, obviously, the 1 here, due to the fact that I want her to engage. Okay. So the reason for these submarines is we want to try and punish the enemy as they leave the area. It does depend on what he wants to do, so I'll move them towards the middle for the most part. Okay. So about here. Linger a day. No reaction. Right. So you're moving there. Do you have orders? Not really. Okay, linger for a day. Max reaction, yep. Okay, again here. There we go, Tier 1 Island. Right. So, these submarines are obviously split up between the north and south, between covering Congo and between attacking the enemy as they retreat. Should they retreat. So that is a thing, really. They aren't guaranteed to retreat, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. It could very much go in any number of ways, but I think if we go with the assumption that the enemy, that THG, should attempt to retreat to the south, then our submarines will be there to make his life difficult. We're going to be pulling out towards the north to go rearm Kotoburu. I can fight this battle once I reorganize, but we can't fight this battle without the ammunition. So that's what we're going to do. We'll rearm. Okay. So I do wonder, because I have troops here, does that actually... I'm sure he can still use that rail line. Okay, so our troops have actually arrived over here, that's great news. He will retreat or he will attack again. What do you reckon? They will do much in the next turn, in terms of retreating or in terms of attacking. Okay. His destroyers already spent a lot of ASW ammunition, yeah, that's true. Okay. I lost sight of the actual transports that were over this way. It's probably better that I just patrol this area here. We'll go from there, really. Right, we do have additional troops over this way. You're heading over here to Saigon. So there, Lupus, how you doing, my friend? Right, so you're headed to Saigon. The Mike Maru. Or Meek Maru. Right, so the plan here is we are going to have Task Force 99, which is the Congo. The Congo and her accompanying destroyers are going to head out here on low... Yeah, I need to. I know, I keep forgetting, man. I've got it downloaded and I bloody will install it. I just keep forgetting. Yeah. I'll get it. Don't worry about it. Don't make me feel bad. Okay. So, Congo's going to head out over here along with her accompanying destroyers. I've split off from this task force over here, the 121, the Chokai, as well as 3 destroyers. They're all fully armed and ready to go. So what's going to happen is they're going to head out here. They're going to be met by the Congo and merge. Now, we do have Task Force 9 over here, which is going to be headed towards the actual Task Force 99, was it? Task Force 83, so they're going to head and merge with these guys, which then will be merged with by Congo. I'm kind of thinking, do we just merge them? I would expect THG to retreat now. His ships have ammunition spent and are now damaged. His job is done in disturbing the landers will probably leave his defences back to the air attacks. Yeah, that's true. He's taken losses. The thing is, we have lost a big ship, but he's lost more ships. Of course, that's not so much of an issue for him in this year. I suppose it is. In this year only, really, is where it's going to matter more than anything. It's a difficult question, because it's like, how do we justify... Well, we can't really. I mean, we took the losses, and that's really that, isn't it? But we did take out some important ships, which is good. It's going to mean a different scenario here in the Dutch East Indies. We're going to have the Baby Kido Butai brought down to this area ASAP. So what I'm thinking here is we have them head towards Cameron Bay. I'm going to have them move at full speed. So at full speed, they're going to move out. It'll take them a couple times to arrive, but once they do, yeah, we can then use our additional air support, as well as the additional battleships. It's like, for instance, we have 4 battleships here. When it comes to air cover, if you have many fleets, then again, they spread out, the combat air patrol will only cover one of them. That's very true. So what we're doing is actually merging them, isn't it? So 3 of them will merge together. We'll have, in reality, we're only going to really have like 2, which is going to be the transport fleet and then this combat fleet. I'm thinking... Let's see. You know what, I'm going to do it the other way around here. They're going to merge with Congo, rather than Congo merge with them. So what we'll do then is, you're going to head... So cancel this meeting. Your destination is going to be Kota Baru. You're not going to be able to move far due to the fact that you're going to be on cruise speed. That's okay, we can manage. So you're going to head directly north. Now, cancel this. I want you on full speed. And I want you to head towards Congo. Now, the question is, do we merge or do we follow? If I follow, my task force can obviously still then operate at full speed. If I merge, then we definitely have Congo covered. So this is the question, and I'm going to let you guys have a think about this one, and we'll make a decision then. What I'm thinking here is we have a little bit more of a stream, and then we'll have a follow-up stream, probably either tomorrow or the day after. Probably tomorrow. The reason is so that people have their own say, that are present in the stream, that be able to submit their own ideas. We'll sort our naval movements, and then we'll sort our air movements, and we'll go from there. What I'm thinking here then is, I kind of do want to make sure Congo is absolutely secure. The thing is, she still has the combat capability that Haruna didn't. Haruna had much worse damage. Congo still has some ammunition in her main guns. She's taken damage, but not huge amounts of damage, so she can still go. She can still fight. I'm thinking that we have them follow Task Force 99. So obviously they will be in the same actual hex, but it means we run a risk of losing Congo or Congo being attacked separately. So Vekola, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, at the moment we're currently deciding how to deal with the aftermath of the Battle of Mersing, which is easier said than done. There's a lot of actual questions, a lot of like right and wrong, so it's one of these, isn't it? What do you guys think? I'm kind of leaning towards possibly merging them. The reason being, at least when they're merged, she's definitely protected. But if we're then attacked, my actual fleet, well, my task force won't react very well. They won't really fight very well. If I merge them, obviously it means that we can just cover the one task force. I'm going to merge them. We'll merge them. Yeah, we'll move at slow speed, but I'd rather merge them. So I'm going to have them move at full speed towards here. I'm going to actually move them at full, mission speed. Due to the fact that they're not going to go too far, and I do not want to have then Congo put on full speed. She won't, but I don't want to take that risk. You're going to move at full speed just to make sure you get there. So cancel that meet and have you instead meet Congo. Yeah. Yeah, stacked AA, easier air cover. Yeah, we'll go with a merger. They're on a high threat tolerance. And they're going to move at full speed, so they'll arrive pretty quickly. Okay. Now, speaking of air cover, let's take a look at the state of our bases over here. So, Kota Baru. The airfield obviously did take a hammering. We're not doing great here in terms of actual aviation support, considering that we have only 8 and we need 78. The airfield is a little bit overwhelmed in terms of maintenance, which I can actually handle for the time being. What I'm thinking here is, I don't think it will send substantial surface combat task forces. The big problem now are his string banks, that's true. And in response to that, we do have to obviously recognize the fact that we did get hit on our own air bases. He's definitely... Yeah, he's definitely doing that. Seems he has a lot of fighters over here, which is rather intriguing. That's really intriguing. Now, I do have my own force on their way. It's going to take them some time to arrive, but when they do arrive at Victoria Point, we might be able to actually take out his fighters if he's not careful. I definitely need to cancel the raids on Kwantan. What we might do, though, is actually raid Victoria Point, considering he has a large amount of fighters there. We'll see. But what I'm thinking here then is we have one of the squadrons of Ki-27Bs actually just run general combat air patrol around these airfields. So at the end of the day, we need to make sure that we are protecting our own airfields at the moment. One of the pilots, fatigue is obviously growing. So we do need to, well, yeah. Like, for example, you have 45 fatigue. We need to really bear that in mind. So... what I'm going to do then is have them run here. Yeah, he might lose all those fighters. Yeah, if we're very lucky, we might be able to do that. We'll consider how we want to approach this. I think we'll have 80% of the squadron, obviously, on combat air patrol. So they'll escort and obviously fight in around this area. The other Ki-27 squadron... So there, Sockman, how you doing, my friend? The other squadron will have them obviously patrol over the top of... 9-9. Yeah, so they're going to head out that way. Fatigue here is actually really high. Yeah, it's pretty much up there. So we have to recognize the fact that there will be a point at which we have to begin to rest our air squadrons. Right, so I have 11th Sentai. The 77th Sentai. 1st and 11th. I'll send the forces the 11th, then again you have one still and ready. If their morale is good, they will just fly away. Yeah, that's true. Right. Now again, I do have to recognize the fact that we are under attack at these air bases. Banzai. I love that, Mad Cat. How you doing, my friend? What I'm thinking here then is we might have one of these squadrons actually run combat air patrol over this area here. The reason for that is I do not really want to risk my own airfields being hit so hard. I don't know. What do you guys reckon? have the KI-43 1As or the 1Bs along with the A6M2s to actually cover the naval task forces, and then have one of them to cover the airfields. Remember that if you want to rest your squadrons, don't rest them all at once, cycle them instead. Yeah, that's true. I mean, would it be a good idea? Would be a good idea. What do you guys think? I'm definitely leaning towards having one of the squadrons actually patrol over our airfields. We did see a number of attacks, and it does worry me, because then we have to run with the risk of losing planes, which is not good. So there, Pirate, how you doing, my friend? Okay. We do have some additional aircraft over here. Not huge amounts. I do have some additional Ki-27s. Like, we have the 77th over here. And the 11th, okay. 8 of them, that's fantastic. We'll have them transferred over to link back up with their main force. So transfer to Kotobaru. So I have the 11... Oh, fuck's sake, I can move them over there, but not even there, are they? Where the hell's the 77th? Fuck. There they are, fuck's sake. You've not missed too much, don't worry. Ah, fuck's sake. I bloody moved them, and I didn't mean to move them there, but fuck it, I'll have them there, and then they can link up with the 77th and after. So we'll have them on escort. Right, stand down. Escort. Their fatigue's very low, so at least they'll be actually useful. So I'll have them on combat air patrol in this area then as well. Right, 20,000 feet. Drop tanks. Okay, just run escorts over this way then. So we have here the 11th and the 1st. Right, the 11th I could link back up. Okay. Yeah, pretty much. Then I have a 64th over here. Yeah, there's another part of 77th. Detachment A, Detachment A. Detachment B, okay. Right. I think what we want to do then is actually run combat air patrol over Saigon then, considering that's where our bombers are. He's aware of that, I'd imagine. Right. You know what, actually... The Ki-27s will do fine over here, I'll just allow them to do that role. The Ki-43s will obviously continue to cover the actual task force. Well, what we're going to do... Bravely run away. What we're going to do then is basically gather our forces together over here. And then have them head towards Kotobaru so they can actually rearm. Once we rearm, we can definitely reorganize and reevaluate the situation. The forces here are using 99 tons of supply per day, and they have over 1,000 tons. So they'll be able to last for a couple days. I think what we need to do is just, importantly, rearm the guns that we can. And rearm the destroyers, importantly, to then come back. The bombers here should have a field day, ideally. As production spools up, you'll need to swap out the squadrons. Yeah, you're true. You're right, sorry. Would be a good idea to obviously fly them back somewhere out of sight, and we'll have to, so it's going to take a couple of days for them to get back into the action. But once they do, at least they'll be in some shiny new aircraft. Okay. So they're going to cover Task Force 99. There we go. You'll cover them. Obviously, fatigue is very high here. Very, very high on some of these actual fighters. These pilots, sorry. So they could definitely do the rest. Definitely do that rest. We'll give it to them once they have the opportunity to do so. But we'd have to fly them out of Malaysia. And it's a difficult question. I need to rest them. So what we'll do is, once we have the option to, is I'll rest one squadron 100% and then just, yeah, rotate them out would be the best idea. But we'll do that once the ships arrive back at Kota Baru, really. At least then we know they'll be a bit safer. Yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards anyway. Okay. We'll do that then. So you're going to cover task force as well. I could do with having somebody cover this task force as well, but I think we need to... It's a difficult one, really. I'm going to have this task force covered by the air as well. Yes, it's committing fighters here, but what I'm going to do then is I'll take the A6M2 and they're going to cover the actual Congo. We'll have a decent amount of actual aerial power covering these forces. We're obviously heading towards our own cover as well, so the Ki-27's our own combat air patrol will obviously then be active. But I can't really leave them. I mean, the actual fact that we have over 12,000 troops here is important. They will have these additional escorts, but it's going to take some time for them to arrive. So I don't want to have the risk, and I don't want to have the situation made even worse by having some string bags actually come in here and basically annihilate some of our troops out at sea. I can't take that risk. Yeah. Okay. So, let's see. What we need to do then is, I'm going to leave the stream off here for today, and we'll pick this up back tomorrow. What I want you guys to do is, I want you to really have a good think. I want you guys to really suggest some additional possibilities. We need to think about the situation. So, what I'm going to do here then is just go for the general plan for what will happen in the future. So phase 1 will be in yellow. So phase 1 is we have the Congo. She's going to head towards Kota Baru. She'll probably end up around about this point. We'll double check here just to make sure. She'll end up... Yeah, she'll end up around about this point here. So then what will happen is, in a smaller pen, is... the Chokai and her destroyers will head out to link up with the Congo. They'll probably meet up around about this point here. The additional heavy cruisers will meet up around about here. So from there they'll merge as one single task force and head towards Kota Baru, where they'll then be able to rearm, ideally, over here. From that point on, phase 2 being pink, is we'll re-establish what forces we have for the invasions. And we're going to target this base here, Singkawang. Target this base, take control of this base. We need to build it up to obviously be a actual proper air base, obviously build up that aviation support, and obviously it'd be nice if it does have, what's the port capacity here? It's about... well, it's about 1, so it's not exactly any great. We do have a decent base over there with level 3, so it could be quite nice actually to take control of that base just to have somewhere to run to. Kuching's actually pretty good as well. Yeah, we'll take control of these at some point in the future. So from that point on, assuming that we have control of the air base, is we'll then use it to sweep the ever-living hell out of Singapore. Once we've annihilated a decent amount of its actual cover, we could potentially then begin to launch bombers, but we don't really need to. If we can just destroy the aircraft, the actual fighters, we'll not really have much of a risk in terms of using our own bombers. So, that's going to be how we do this. We do have a very limited time window here. His forces are already on the move. I can't dislodge these men here. So we need to consider... I don't know. We have until... I'm going to say 5 days. We need to see what the situation is in 5 days. Which is probably too long. I think we really, in all honesty, have maybe a day or 2 days at absolute most to try and pull something off. We could have an amphibious landing at Mersing pretty quickly. I'd say within 2 to 3 days once again. We'll see what the general situation is. We'll see what the general situation is and go from there. So, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this. I'm leaving this one deliberately shorter just so we can get things sorted out. And I want to hear your guys' opinions. And girls, of course. So until next time, thank you for watching and goodbye. This is definitely shaping up to be one of the most exciting things I've ever done myself, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. And you will enjoy watching it as it continues. So until next time, goodbye for now.